On 71 out of 1,800 acres set aside by the City of London for industrial development, the iconic factory was built in 1913 for McCormick Manufacturing Company, which was rapidly expanding. The land was gifted to the three sons of Thomas McCormick to encourage the company to remain in London, Ontario. The city provided many incentives to promote industrial expansion in the area. The McCormick Factory was the first of several large-scale buildings built on the newly reserved lands. The building was influenced by designs Thomas McCormick had created, focusing on functionality as well as employee comfort. The exterior of the original factory was 68% windows, allowing sunshine to reach deep within the factory floors, giving it the nickname the Sunshine Palace. The company even used the nickname within promotions of the new build, touting it as a snow-white sunshine biscuit and candy factory. The main building was 4 floors of factory space, a 5th floor for offices, and a basement. Several wing additions were made between 1922 and 1958 to include more production facilities and a warehouse. There was space between each wing to allow more light and air circulation. This space also allowed train tracks to run alongside their warehouse for easier rail connection. McCormick's faced hardship during the Great Depression, and in 1937 the company in its entirety was sold to Weston Limited, but retained its name. The sole surviving son of the founder of McCormick's remained heavily involved in the company until his death in 1965. During those years, the company saw the biggest growth with almost 1,300 employees in the 1960s. As time progressed, the means of transportation of product changed, and the rail lines were infilled and loading bays for transportation trucks were added. These additions connected the once freestanding powerhouse to the factory, the majority of which were utility-focused. The main building underwent minor repairs but remained true to its original character. Weston Limited sold the McCormick brand to Culinar Inc. in 1990, but Culinar only held onto the brand for 7 years before selling it to Beta Brands. Beta Brands quickly ran into financial difficulties and closed many of its subsidiaries in 2003. The McCormick factory survived another few years under Beta Brands before the company collapsed and the factory was closed in 2008. Causing 292 employees to lose their jobs. The building sat vacant for several years as the city fought to collect property taxes from the former owners to no avail. Eventually, the decision was made to try and sell the property for the cost of the owed taxes, $750,000. The building had decayed significantly, and a plethora of people had found their way inside. Some even made the vacant building their home, albeit temporarily. Drug paraphernalia and personal effects were commonplace in and around the property. The location was also very popular with urban explorers, causing the decay to be extensively documented. In 2014, the site was sold to Sierra Construction for $1, a far cry from what the city had hoped to get for it. The city went back and forth with the company for several years as expenses climbed higher and higher. Additionally, a request to designate the main portion of the McCormick factory was made, as the factory has historical value. City Council agreed the building had heritage value and passed the designation request in November of 2014. In 2015, a complete heritage impact report was made. Despite the City of London approving several $1 million in grants to Sierra Construction in 2017, the project stalled. The city even reduced the property taxes in hopes of encouraging some progress on the site, to no avail. In November of 2018, a fire was set on the rooftop of the factory. Despite being just one of several fires in the factory since it had closed, this seemed to be the final straw, and demolition on the loading docks began in March of 2019.